Backyard today in the shade of my backyard, and I took the broccoli out of these containers. It goes so quickly from bud to flower, so that's almost a flower. That's okay, we're gonna eat it anyway. This one's more of a bud. You can see the difference. And then that one's flowered. We're getting there, almost. And I wanted to show you they have holes drilled in the bottom, about quarter-size holes. Don't do yours without drainage. It probably won't work out well for you. Anyway, I'm planting my container tomatoes. This type of container tomato is called Tasmanian chocolate because it has those dark, red, beautiful, so delicious tomatoes. I got the seeds from Renee's Garden Seeds, and I think she specializes in things that just taste really good, and she specializes also in some fun things for small spaces like container tomatoes. These stay stout and strong and really hold the fruit well in containers. And then also one thing I've gotten for her is baby bok choy and baby Napa cabbage that I put in my aquaponics system that are they just come into a good meal really quickly, and then you can plant some more and have another meal. So anyway, having fun doing the last of my tomatoes in containers. Putting the same thing I did in the tomato holes in ground. I'm almost out of my calcium though. My ground eggshells. And mealworm press for fertilizer. And a big scoop of black gold from those red wigglers. So if you do not have room for tomatoes in ground, then this is a great choice for you. I'll leave a link in the description for these seeds. This is a great container tomato. So even if you have a balcony, you can have tomatoes. I'm gonna wait to water these till I get them in front. My oldest boy is coming to visit tonight, so I'm gonna have him carry them back out front because they're kind of heavy. Alright, you guys, I ran out of my eggshells that I ground up, so I'm going to try something else for calcium. Come see. I bought some ground up oyster cells for calcium for my chickens. So I'm going to try grinding it up. Cross your fingers that I don't break my husband's coffee grinder. Let's see. Okay, please don't break. Okay, that's hard stuff, you guys. I don't think it ground up very good. Oh well. I'm gonna put that in with my tomato plants. I'm not sure it'll be available for the tomato plants for a while, like I said before, but nevertheless. Calcium, if you don't know, calcium stops blossom end rot. And you've ever had that happen to your tomatoes, it's very frustrating. But yeah, I don't say that grinding it up did not really work. At least At least in a coffee grinder. That's okay. That's all right. I'll just use it like this. I imagine that bone meal would also make a really good substitute for calcium, but I don't have any of that, so we're just going with this. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? And I will get my son to carry them around when he gets here in a little bit and water them. And I had 2 left. They look a little stunted for some reason, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'm going to go ahead and put them in my aquaponics system and see what happens. I probably should put my best one in my aquaponics, but I'm gonna try these out in there. But I have to wait till tonight to plant them because there's still quite a few bees in here, but they'll be leaving before long. It's getting closer to evening and they'll take off. I think I'm gonna have to harvest something though to plant my tomatoes. I need a bigger one, you guys, already. If this is the first time you're seeing my aquaponics system, this is it. My son built it, my engineering son built it for his apartment balcony, and he gave it to me for a season. I'm sure I will return it at some point, probably when I build a bigger one. But yeah, there are fish down there, and obviously a lot of great growth up here, and a lot of bees drinking. So that's good. I'm glad they have a fresh water source. Hey you guys, I am playing with worms again. Remember the other day when I introduced you to my vermicomposting bin and I harvested half of it out. So I need to fill that other half because all my worms are over here. So let's do that. So this is what I was talking about, coconut coir bricks, and I'll link up in the description. So I think this is a really good way to get started with the vermicomposting bin, and I've decided to keep going with it because I like it much better. Although you can use newspaper and leaves and mulch and partially composted material. You can use lots of different things, but I really like this. So I kind of started without you guys, and then I decided to come get you. So I just put the coconut coir bricks in there and filled it up with water and just let it puff up and swell up and broke them apart. So I've got this wonderful, nice medium for the worms to move into and produce some more of that black gold for me. Perfect. Now you can see, you guys, there are lots of worms over on this side. Every time I try to show you guys worms, I don't see any, but I swear they were over here. I just picked it up to see lots of worms just a second ago. They must have all ran under. They're like, there she is. Oh, there's some worms. See? You can see those. Yeah, lots of worms over on this side. So what I'm going to do is feed them over here, push the leaves all over here, and then I'll harvest this side for spring fertilizer. I have scraps from my neighbors again. These are a little too far gone for chickens. This is a lot for my vermicomposting bin. I normally wouldn't feed them this much, but I'm going to try to get them to come over to this side of the bin. That is a lot, you guys. I hope I haven't overwhelmed it. But I'm going to put a little bit more coconut coir on it. I have 1 brick left. So 1 brick makes quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to move all these over here. Make this a really nice place to be. Oh, there are tons of worms. Oh my goodness. Now you can see them, you guys. Look at all those worms. Look at all those. They were feasting on all that food. That is great. So now we're going to move all this to this side. And let them come enjoy that, so we can harvest this side of the bin. All right. And all we have to do is wait. Each night I've managed to pop out and plant some more tomatoes. We are gonna get this garden planted one step at a time. Let's do this. Planted these tomatoes among these cool season veggies, and that's no problem. Just back behind them I left room for them, and these cool season veggies will be up and harvested in no time. All right, you guys, the last of the tomato plants are going in. I went to the feed store today and I just decided to buy 3 hybrid tomatoes. Celebrity, I know one of them is Early Girl, and the other one is Park Swapper Improved. So every once in a while, it's a good idea to do some hybrid tomatoes, and that just means that I can't save the seeds from these tomatoes, that they won't come true. So I'm kind of putting them at this end of the garden, and all my other tomatoes are at that end of the garden. And sometimes though, they can be just a little bit better for resistance for diseases, and it kind of depends on how our spring goes. If it's really a wet spring, sometimes we need that resistance to fungal diseases and different diseases in the soil. So sometimes they can really do well for you. So this is kind of an insurance policy and just a little bit of fun. So after these tomatoes go in, I am done planting tomatoes. Ooh, I'm excited. Last one, you guys. Going in. I noticed that this soil has a lot more clay in it. You guys, this was the first garden bed I ever put in my front yard. So as time went on, I got better at composting, and I got chickens and got to add their manure, and I got rabbits. So I would say this is the bed that's probably the most clay soil. Even though I've top dressed it, I have learned a lot about soil since the very beginning. So I would say this is probably my worst soil bed. But hey, it still grows great things. These are little. I probably should have bought some bigger ones. Yes, look at those big clay chunks. Lots of clay in this soil, which isn't horrible. Clay soil holds water well, moisture well, and it actually is pretty nutrient dense. It's not too bad, as in like opposed to sandy soil. It has more nutrients in it. There, the last one. That feels really good, you guys, to have all my tomatoes in. I'm excited. Now I will water, but it is supposed to be rainy weather the next few days, so this will be the perfect weather for these new little starts. On a personal note, you guys, this is April 1st, and this is the year anniversary of me completely giving up alcohol. So thank you to everyone that cheered me on, and I have to say I've never felt better. I feel more energized, I sleep a lot better, I feel a lot less anxious, more calm. I have confident peace in a lot of situations now, which allows me to step out more with my ministry team, step out more in teaching and homeschool, just a confident peace. I think it's interesting because I was drinking alcohol because I felt anxious, and especially in social situations. But it seemed like it made my life, my sober life, more anxiety ridden. So yeah, it's an interesting trap. So thank you again for everyone that cheered me on. And if you think that you might want to just try and see what it feels like to have a life without alcohol, I started with a fun 30-day experiment. It's called the Alcohol Experiment. It's online, search it, it's free. I'll leave the link in the description. It was really fun. They sent emails to me every day, just with a quick video about different aspects of alcohol and what it does to our bodies, all sorts of different subjects around alcohol and what it might be like to give it up. And you just do it for 30 days, and then at the end of it you can decide whether you want to go back or whether you want to continue, or maybe just drink every now and then. I just felt so good that I thought, okay, I'm not ever doing this again. I feel great now. So maybe that will happen to you. So anyway, I'll leave the link in description for that if you want to just experiment on what it's like to live life without alcohol. So cheers, you guys, to my non-alcoholic life. This is hibiscus tea with mint.